Yo, what's good? It's Robbieisntliving. You are now tapped into Unplugged DMV.
Welcome to another episode of Unplugged DMV. I am Tanae Danae, and today we have Robbie Isn't Living. So before we get started, we want to tap into who Robbie Isn't Living is and how did you come up with the name?
Yeah. All right, so funny story. Late registration, that's 2005, track 10, Kanye Never Let Me Down with Brandy. He says in the song, they gonna have to take my life or they take my drive, because when I was barely living, that's what kept me alive. I feel like, especially in this day and age, we have a lot of people who sacrifice actually living their life to their fullest extent by just simply being here. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when you're just not doing your God-given purpose, you're just existing. You're not living. So I like, when I had that applied to my name, I like to wear it as a scar. So whenever I'm in a moment of complacency and being lazy and not doing my God-given purpose, what I believe is music, is I like the name resonates and tells me like it's a reminder, like yo, get to it, because you're not living right now, you're just existing.
Okay.
And also as I've grown in my faith, it's becoming now taking on a new life, which is, you know, Robbie isn't living, Robert isn't living, it's Christ living through me, you know? So it's God living through me and embodying through me instead of it just being about me and about my desires.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I told you I had something.
Yeah, it is. I love it. So let's kind of tap into the difference between like what separates Robbie Isn't Living from Robbie.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I think honestly, you know, it could be dangerous of sorts, but I would like to think that they're both one. And everything that I experience in real life, everything I go through in real life just translates over into like the audio narrative that's Robbie Isn't Living. Robbie Isn't Living made me more of the theatrical, you know, and the aesthetic to it is more of like a playwright, more like a movie or a film, whatever the case, but it's just embodying everything that Robbie or Robert goes through.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, so that's dope. So who or what would you say inspired you to get into the music?
Wow, man, everybody from the greats, obviously, Ye, obviously the Drakes, obviously the Tylers, obviously the Andres, the Jays, anybody who's done this at a high level and has pushed the envelope and changing what the sound looks like, changing what the looks look like is, changing what the content is about. Those are the people. Like it could be like smaller artists, like such as Blue, for those who know. If you know, you're a real one. Doom, anybody who's pushed that envelope and changed what the sound is taken and has inspired people like me and my generation and kids after me and people before me to keep this thing going.
So you would say you've been interested in doing music since you were very young?
Age. First rap I wrote, I didn't say Pharrell too. Pharrell, it's another one. That's a really big one. Yeah. 2006, I think, In My Mind came out. I was age 12. That was when I wrote my first rap on paper.
Age 12. Okay. Because I was wondering if you wrote your own music.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I just I was like freestyling before. I used to take the bus home. It's funny now I think about it, from like somewhat elementary to the middle school. But then like that was really when that album came out. That was when I was like, let me start writing this down, and that's when it became a thing.
So describe that feeling for us, the feeling that you felt when you completed your first song. Yes.
Funny story. Not
give
too many
us
people
that
know.
feeling.
I got a funny story. So before I used to write my raps, and so that was 6th grade, right? In My Mind came out, but before then. It was actually around the same year. There's a guy from Dipset named 40 Cal, and it was also some verses on this mixtape by Clinton Sparks, Touch the Sky, Kanye West. Kanye West had a freestyle over this game beat. What was that song? Let Me Put You On Game. He had a freestyle over that beat, right? So I used to rap to my homeboys those verses because they didn't know them. And I'd be like, yo, those are mine. So like for a long time, like I had the confidence because they were like, yo, this is the craziest thing I ever heard, of like the swagger of like taking somebody else's verse. So it gave me confidence that now when I start writing my own stuff, they didn't know the difference. So I already had the confidence of like rappers that were already on, but it was what like obviously a rookie, you know what I'm saying? So the feeling of having it though is just when you take those emotions, you take those words and you translate them, or you put them on, you transcribe them, you put them on paper, and then to see it get a reaction out of somebody, and then not only that, you see a point of relation,
Right.
and like, yo, they can feel how I feel, even though this is about me, even though this is written by me and for me, they can feel that. It's like, I don't even want to say a power. It's just a connectivity. It's weird. Like, it just connects everything. It's just like, wow. Like, we really all in this together, you know?
Right. So, do you remember the first song that you played for like your family and friends?
It all
And how did that process work out? Because a lot of people do not like to share things like that. But
Yeah,
how did that play out?
You know what happened? It started with my friends knowing or hearing it first, and then like as I've grown in my music, then I started sharing it with like my mom, my dad, other people, and like I think my dad actually found it on Facebook or like MySpace or whatever the case, and my dad was like, "This is it." He was like, "This is it. This is it."
Oh, your dad had a MySpace too, or he was just like searching?
Yeah, my dad he's on the social medias. He's
okay.
sometimes on and off it, but yeah, he had found it through there and was like, "Yo, you hot?" Yeah, and I was just like, "Thanks."
That's super dope, because a lot of parents, when they hear that artists maybe want to, their children want to become artists and things like that,
they just like apprehensive.
Go to school and
things
like that. But
I think for me, it's just also too is just like my mom and my dad just knowing like I got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's one of those things where it's like, whether I make it or not, whether somebody likes me or not, likes my content, whatever, it's like, you can't deny my talent. You can't deny I can rap my butt off, you know?
Right.
And I've been like that for a very long time. Like, even in like coming in like 12, 13, once I really started getting my own stuff, it was just like, you know, I was there. So it was one of those things where it was like, even at 16, 17, it's like, sure, the stuff I was rapping about was nonsense, but the actual technical skill of it and aspect of it was there. So it's like, you can't deny it.
Right.
So even my mom was just like, you know, go to school, do this, blah, blah, blah. She still can't be like, all right, this is going nowhere, because you actually got it, you know? So
yeah. So let's dive back into your creative process.
For sure.
When you're writing your music, what's your zone? Do you have a certain song that you play to get yourself ready and motivated? Does it have to be in the middle of the night? Like, what's your vibe?
Normally, like, night owl hours. So, like, a lot of times when I record and write, and it's just like, I'm a night owl, be up all kinds of crazy hours in the night. But I think for me, honestly, you know what happens? I don't really write records in one sitting. It normally is like a chiseling process. So like if you see somebody, a sculptor, like, or do like the ice sculpture or whatever, and they chisel at it, is you do something here, bong, 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 and then like later on you'll come back to it. And that's what it is for me. Like a lot of my songs and a lot of my rhymes are like Frankenstein. Like I just write, every day I try to write. And if, whether it be for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whether it's like a poem, a haiku, a whole verse, whatever, chorus, anything, I just try to like do something per day. And I come back and I'll take all those voice memos, all those notes, all of whatever, and just throw them in like one big like file. And like just being like, yo, I'll come back to this. So when I'm writing to the beat, pick what stays. Some things stay, some things go. So it's just like building a Frankenstein, honestly.
Right.
That's what the
so you
process
had those moments, like when you're in the shower.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like, yo, I gotta get the notes.
A verse comes, like when I get out, I'm gonna...
crazy. Happens all the time. You know how many songs? One of my favorite, again, I keep quoting Ye, is he's like.
I feel like he's your favorite. Is he?
I don't have a favorite. That's the thing. Is like they all play a different part in like a saga in my life, and just like I listen to everything. Like even outside of rap, like I listen to everything. I try to, with the exception of country. Sorry, country fans out there, but like it's like I listen to everything. So it's like with that happening, certain influences come from certain places. Ye just like happens to have a lot of those influential moments. But he's like, does he write his own rhymes? Sort of. I think him. That mean I forgot better ish than you ever thought of. So it's like that's how I feel. Like being in the shower, being somewhere, and I'm just on a run, wherever, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, and I end up forgetting it. So it's like, but it always comes back anyway. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How do you feel your personality reflects in your music?
That's a great question. These are awesome questions. Who came up with these awesome questions? I think it's back to that answer I gave earlier. It's just like, it's me. So it's just like, anything you hear, it's going to be it's an audio journal, audio diary. So it's like, anything that you hear is going to be a reflection of either something I thought, something I read and sat with me, or something that just gets concocted in just the brain of Robert, you know?
Right.
And that's what happens. I try to put that on, you know, because it helps for transparency. It's like, it's no fiction here. This is all, it's mind state music. This is music for how I feel in the moment, but it's in my mind. And it's all factual, you know? All factual.
Yeah. What is it that you want to be known for ultimately? Like, what's your ultimate goal with being an artist?
I want to be somebody who goes against the general narrative of we gotta be a certain type of person, and we gotta rap about a certain kind of thing. We gotta represent a certain kind of thing, and being ultimately for the truth. You know, if I can be the person who helps somebody get led to faith in Christ and led to faith in God, and just
that's right.
seeing, you know, and seeing the truth through music, and it's still not being something that's corny or something that's like stigmatized as like, oh, this is played out, you know what I'm saying? And it'd be a way of just being like, yo, let's take away the barriers of all this and let's stand for truth. It's too many boxes, it's too many labels. That's what I want to be an advocate for and a trailblazer. And I might not be the one that make it, but if I can like set someone forth and they be the one to hear Robbieisntliving being like, yo, I heard this in 6th grade, like I heard it in my mind, and this inspired me to do X, Y, Z. That's what I want. That's what I want to make.
So what would you say some of the best advice is that someone has given you? And that
Best
can be,
advice.
you know, someone close to you or
Yeah.
even, I mean, because clearly we know, we're learning that you do a lot of research.
For sure.
So I'm quite sure.
Best advice, yo.
Yeah.
The one thing I think definitely for, I'm going to be a little more, it's more very specific and geared to writers and artists alike, is best advice I can give is, I think Jill Scott said this on her verses, we were just talking about verses before we started this, is whenever you have an idea, whether it be a song, whether it be a script, whether it be whatever, obviously, you know, don't let it be trash, let it be something of quality, but it's like when you have that idea and you release it on the paper or wherever you put it at, it's not yours anymore, and you can't hold that to yourself and hog it. Like, that's something that's beyond you and above you, so it's like, put it out, you know, put it out, share it with the world. Don't hold it to yourself. I think, and I say that speaking to myself a lot of times because I'm so meticulous and I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, yo, I gotta have this right. The mix gotta sound good on here, and I gotta have this right before I release it. And a lot of times, it's like those things are moments. So it's like you holding that to yourself. You don't know what you could be stopping or helping for the next person that you may or may not know. So it's like release that. So whenever you have something, especially when it's rooted in something positive and something that's righteous and something good, it's like put that out there. Put that out. It's not yours anymore, so put that out there.
Right. Okay, I never looked at it like that. That's a good way. That's some good advice. I'm gonna take that. So speaking of celebrities, name a celebrity artist that you wish that you could collab with one day.
Celebrity artist. You got some great questions, y'all. You're killing me.
I mean, this is things, you know. I mean, I'm not an artist, but I always think about who I want to collab with.
There's so many people I would love to do. You know who I would, just because I know no one would say this, and this is a chance that he may see this. Tory Moore. He's not really a celebrity. He's really like an artist. He really, but look him up. I can see your face.
Okay, because I know. Yeah,
Tory Moore. It's like I think it's Spanish for the bull in me, but it's like it's spelled Toroy, like E. I think that's how you say E in Spanish, right? Is that it? And in Spanish, I think it's E. Tory Moore. It's Toroymoi.
Okay.
Look him up. I think I would love to have him do like a whole, even if it's not a whole project. Let's do like 3-4 songs.
Right.
When you listen to him,
Okay, I'm gonna look him up.
Look up Samantha Tory Moore. It's the best thing you probably won't hear all year.
Okay, I'm gonna look him up. And since this is Unplugged, DMV, you know, are there any local artists that you would like to work with one day?
Oh man, it's so much talent. I like Miss Cam. I like Finagle Park. I like what Soda's doing. I like what Alpiece is doing. It's so many different. I think his name is Al Rogers now. It's so many different people that's like killing it right now at the DMV. And who would I want to do something with? Everybody, yo. Let's get on. Like that's the thing is like I feel like all the great places and regions like LA, New York, we were just talking about diversity, is like the thing is like they had they had cliques and individual groups, but like they all knew how to like expand out and like hop on a record with each other, you know?
Right.
So I would love to collab with anybody from the DMV.
Yeah, that's a good spirit and energy to have.
We need that. For real, we need that. It's too much, especially in this like in Baltimore alone. Like, but I don't. DC they do a good job of reaching out and branching out. I think Virginia has as well, but like. Baltimore has this way of just being like this. I don't think the new Baltimore is changing, and they changing the way it's been centered. But before it's been like crabs in a bucket mentality, you know. It's been like, oh, I can't collab and link with this person because they gonna stop my shine. Where it's like, nah, I think I would love if they want to get on a record with me. I want to get on a record with them.
A movement by yourself. right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them is funny.
When we together, everybody has to get together.
Ironically, all my records, I don't think I have. No, I'm capping. I got some feature records, but all my joints is out right now, and my EP is out. It's all solo joints, but I want to expand on that. Like, I just want to introduce the world to who Robbieisntliving is, and then once that's out there, man, let's expand. Let's work.
Yep, I love it. Yeah. All right, so no one knows you better than you know yourself. So, what are some things you say you need to work on to better yourself as an artist?
Criticism on live camera, I love it.
It's important.
Back to that, what I said before is like that advice I would give of holding stuff in, or like holding content. Definitely releasing more and letting go a bit of being like a perfectionist and being so meticulous. And I'm like, it's a part of me that never wants to let that go because that's what takes the work and the quality to a whole new level. But it's like I also don't want to do it to the point of self-sabotage.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing I would want to like change is like I work my butt off, I write every day, I record, I'm always looking for beats. If not, I'm always studying other musicians for source content. So that's the one thing I would think is just like, yo, if I could look at matter of fact, I would look at this video later, yo, put some music out, put some stuff out. But nah, that's the one thing I would change for sure.
Okay, all right. And as far as you getting your name out there, what is most important to you? Would it be social media, or are you more of a in-person networking event?
However I can reach somebody, honestly. I'm not picky in that avenue. If it can be a face-to-face conversation, if somebody can see this interview, even if you might check my music out just because that's like, however I can get the message. The thing is with marketing is like Pepsi Cola, you look at like the big brands, like they don't just limit themselves to one, they don't even limit themselves to like Coca-Cola doesn't limit themselves to one product. Yeah. So it's like they got their hand in everything. So I feel like however I can reach somebody, that's
in your experience thus far, have you seen any, which one would you say is most effective?
I think person to person. I mean, it's hard to say because again, it's like the people that impacted me and the heroes I had growing up, it's like I've watched on video, you know what I'm saying, or the internet or whatever, so I can't say that's not effective, but from my personal experience, nothing beats meeting a person, shaking their hand, looking them eye to eye, and like leaving that impact there, because they may not even like your music originally if they hear it without knowing the person, but if they know the person, then the music hits much harder, so when they finally hear it.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with that. I think, you know, so see, my take is social media does, a lot of people can do a lot of scrolling past, you know, like you can scroll past me on social media. You ain't walking, you're not gonna walk past me in person.
It makes it so binary, and like it numerizes it, because it's like, I think it's a word, numerate, whatever the case, is you're just another number on social media. It's a whole sea of like, and don't get me wrong, there's artists out there in real life, it's not just social media, but it's like, now again, if I speak with you, it's nothing that beats that connection, you know what I'm saying? Even if you meet 100 other people today, you'll remember, I met this person at social media, you're not going to remember 100 people that you meet. So,
I love the presence and
it don't beat real life.
The intimacy of being in person and, you know, connecting with someone. If you could open up for a big artist, who would it be? If you had that opportunity, someone sent that email today, who would it be?
That's a great question. You're killing me. I would take every opportunity, but I think just because of how
you know, your personality.
I appreciate it.
I love it. You would take every opportunity.
Every opportunity.
So many
I ain't gonna turn nobody
down.
Like no, because again, that's also because I listen to everything. So I'm a fan. I could be on. Who do I really like? That's like, I know who I like. What's her name? What's that joint's name? Billie Eilish. She makes some dope music, like really dope music, and a lot of the imagery sometimes is a bit over the top with like the devil worship and all the kind of crazy other stuff, but like and music wise, she got it. So I'm like somebody like that. That's if I could be in an audience, especially because our audience is probably somebody that's not my direct audience right now. Yeah, for sure. And a chance to get out there and like rap and low key preach the gospel. I do it. I do it.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Anybody though, like I said, anybody. If anybody's watching this right now, any major mainstream act, like I'm there for it.
Okay.
I'm there for it.
So a fun fact about Robbie: if you weren't doing music, Then what would it be?
Wow, I don't know because I do literally everything. Like even then I DJ as well. It's my second
You
job.
DJ as
DJ,
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like everything is music related. I
Mhm.
think it probably would be something in film. I love film.
Okay.
I help direct all my music videos too. Like even if I'm not behind the
You're a
camera, like
creative
I had great
director.
cameras. Shout out
Mhm.
Josh Wilson. Shout out Marlo Desire. Like even with them, I'm like, yo, like we should shoot it here and do this. So like I think I'm very hands on. I've wrote some screenplays before,
Mhm.
so I've been behind the camera, my own videos and others. So I'd probably do something in film.
Okay, so we can. It's safe to say that we're gonna look forward to that as well.
For
right?
sure. Now
In the
after
future?
all else, like drop debut album, give people like maybe 2-3 mixtapes that I like Lauryn Hill, Fade to Black on the
Mhm.
game. I'll probably be like behind the camera after
Okay.
that. So
All right,
yeah.
that's super dope.
Look forward to it.
That's super dope. This
Yeah.
is such a great interview. Do you have any upcoming projects
I
that you're
do.
working on? Let us know.
Right now, the motive is Exit in the Middle. Exit in the Middle. I don't know if you want to call it EP, album, mixtape, whatever you want to call it. Body of work. Exit in the Middle. I don't like giving dates. I'm giving people, and the ones who've seen this, I know I've given y'all 100 dates. Whatever. Hopefully before the year is up. I think. What month is this? September.
Yep, that's
Going
September.
on October soon. So yeah, I would say 2021. Exit in the Middle. Yeah,
Okay.
coming soon.
Yeah,
Coming soon.
ready.
Yeah.
Any performances or?
After this, I think we're doing one, right? I think
Yep,
we doing
you
one.
are
This is
coming
it,
up.
right?
You
So
are
right
going to
after
be
this, we got one.
doing. For sure. Let everyone know where they can find you,
Okay.
follow you on social media, and where
Yeah.
they can listen to all of your
As I'm
music.
thinking right now. Nah, y'all can follow me on Instagram for the ones who don't. That's Instagram, Robbieisntliving, ROBBIE isn't living. Follow me on Twitter at A_dead_boy. I'm on every major DSP streaming platform. Robbie isn't living. That's ROBBIE isn't living for those who can't spell. Yeah.
Alrighty. we thank you so much,
Thank you for having me.
Robbie,
For sure.
for coming.
Thank
This was
you.
such an amazing interview. Great
like,
energy,
you killed it with the
great
questions.
spirit.
Smooth.
Thank you so much.
No
So
problem.
now we're gonna tap into a live performance from Robbie. You'll be performing your song called Payoff.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
let's get into it. This wraps up another episode of
go.
Unplugged DMV.